Miles here. Going to talk about what brought me to Western. So when I was in high school, I got really interested in plants and I wanted to get a degree in plant ecology. So I went to Evergreen and got a degree in landscape ecology and took bryophyte taxonomy and ecology at the end of my program down there. And I became fascinated with mosses and graduated with that kind of closing out my degree. And however, the year and a half after that, I climbed and kind of did nothing really associated with my degree or passion for plants. And so a little bit later on, a year and a half after I graduated, I got a job working for an ecological restoration contractor and doing a lot of invasive plant management, among other things. And simultaneously started to redevote myself to learning bryophytes. And so I got my own lab materials and kind of committed myself to learning it. And I found a keen interest in sphagnum species. And so I spent countless hours visiting many different bogs, doing almost baseline inventories for the DNR, and found a deep, rich reward in doing this. And and here is me looking all happy in 2015, hanging out with the state ecologist and Finnish peatland ecologist looking for rare sphagnums in this rare bog on the west side of the Olympic Peninsula. And I spent about a week out there camping by myself mostly. I set up this little table, bottom center image, where I have my microscopes and I would just run them off the inverter of my car and continue to dig deep into sphagnum ecology and got really into it. Then I ended up quitting my job with the restoration contractor and getting a job in the North Cascades. And that kind of took my bryophyte interest to another level where I was looking at alpine communities and montane and not just peatland stuff, and found endless amounts of reward in doing that. Anyway, my main job there was invasive plant management. However, on the weekends or after a while, it became something I did for a job to do bryophyte inventories. But yeah, some of the other work I do for the park has been improving the remote sensing model that anticipates climate or vegetation communities in the North Cascades. That's this top left image. Top middle image is me and Jade and Matt Rainier working on this subalpine plant monitoring project. Looks at soil temperature in relationship to tree line advancement. And then this top right image is me doing what I absolutely love for work in 2019, which is surveying for rare mosses and rock climbing impacted areas. We found some rare mosses and a moss that's new to the state, so that was cool. And then bottom left and right image is this project I developed to look at bryophyte diversity up on Bacon Peak, which there's been really no plant collections from. And so I had a couple interns from Western that got credit to help me with the project and learn bryophyte ecology and diversity, and that was really fun working with them. And that takes me to what I'm doing for my master's degree. I'm working with Eric DeChain, and we're looking at the spot that's piqued my interest, and I'm proposing it to Eric, and he seems to be on board with it. The spot has numerous very rare bryophytes that are known nowhere else in Washington. Their closest, they're about several hundred miles south of their normal range in Alaska, probably like 800 miles south of where they're more common. And so basically this area is home to some really bizarre disjunct bryophyte species. And we think that this might be a Ice Age refugia, or it might have served as a refugia during the last glacial maximum. and they were able to persist down there. And for some likely physical qualities of the area, they are able to persist today. But that makes them very sensitive and imperiled species that could be affected by climate change. And so we'll be looking at some other taxa. We'll be looking at some other, fungal communities, lichen communities, and vascular plant communities to test this Ice Age refugia hypothesis down there. And we'll see where it goes. And thanks for listening. We'll see you on Wednesday.